On September 28th, the Federal Capital Territory Ministerial Task Force on City Sanitation stormed Lungu Settlement in Gwarimpa, Abuja, with a plan to demolish all the shanties in the area. Now, violence started when the exercise was resisted by the indigenous Bagi settlers in the locality, and both parties suffered casualties. The settlers argued that such a demolition was unlawful as the inhabitants were not given a prior notice. Now, TrustTV gathered that from the violence that ensued, the task force claimed 8 of its members were injured, while on the settler side, several inhabitants sustained bullet wounds. One of the victims of that incident is in the studio here to narrate what actually happened. And he's going to be talking to us about his ordeal. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, thank you.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, now let's get let's begin with your narration of what happened that day.
Okay, my narration that very day?
Yes.
All right. This happened 28th of September this year, around 2 p.m. We're in our community. All of a sudden, we had siren, and then we came out. When we came out, we saw Ministerial Task Force, a combination of civil defense, soldiers, police, and none of them that were there with that gun. They were well armed. And then we were like, what is the problem? From there, they started beating the committee member. The last time they came, we protested and they ran away. We thought it would be the same thing. But because they were armed, even the children, the women, they were shooting. We started shooting everybody around. Even I myself, I was trying to run before I knew. The soldier man squad down and he shot me down. I tried to struggle to run away. Thank God with the help of some youth, they dragged me on the ground. I was being dragged out of the community and I was rushed to hospital. And many were shot on their legs, many pillars. The women were beaten. We were being treated as if we are not Nigerians. We were beaten. That day, it's a day that I will never forget. Because the way we were treated was so bad. And this demolition, there's no notice. This demolition, there's no a concrete agreement with the community, with the development control, whoever that is involved. And this just came, and as I'm talking to you, most of the indigenous of that community don't have their house to lay their heads on. We have been left without our house. Personally, I myself, where I'm staying, has been demolished. And right now, we have the rumors that they are coming, and the chief house is involved to be demolished. I heard that people are going around that the chief collected the money, and the government control are equally saying that the chief collected the money. I don't know. Wow! Where is the agreement? Where is the proof that the chief collected the money?
Okay. All right. Now, while we are having this discussion, we will be taking pictures of what happened, a picture of the victim in the hospital, and we want to advise that that viewers should take caution. It's going to be some disturbing pictures, and we also would like to tell you that we have invited the chairman of the task force committee in the FCT to come and also speak on the matter. We haven't gotten a response. Phone calls that were put through and text messages were sent as well. We didn't get, any response. But we will just continue and get, more, facts about what transpired on that day. Now, what warranted the use of firearm on that day? Was there some kind of, fight? Were the youths carrying arms, or were they a threat, to the, task force that came?
There wasn't. There was not any threat to them. All I knew was that at the course of the demolition, everybody was trying to see what he would grab. And then very close to that place, we had a vigilante office there. And then there were some vigilante members that were there. So them too, they want to park some of their property in the office, the vigilante office. And then it was at the cost of that, because in the vigilante office, they have this hunter gun that they used to use. They were parking there and then to run away from the threats that were coming from them for the demolition. But to my surprise, the police are using it against us, that we are criminals and that we came out with guns. I myself have never handled a gun. So we didn't touch them in any way.
Was there any communication at any point between the leaders of your community and the task force before anything happened?
There was not. The first demolition 2014, there's no any communication to the community. There's no notice. I've never seen a demolition that they will just come and demolish without a notice. They took us on surprise, and the second one, the same thing, up to the last one. There's no any sitting with the agreement with the community, or that the community leader is aware of the demolition. They only come to us as if we are criminals. They begin to demolish the houses.
Okay. Now, your father is the chief, of Lungu community.
Yes.
And according to reports, he was also, brutalized.
Yes.
What warranted that, to happen?
Well, when I was shot, and then I was told that when he heard that I was shot, and he was trying to come out to see his son. It was there they said, yes, this is the thief. And that's when they started beating the chief of the community. He was actually coming out to save his son, and he was beaten, and then he was thrown inside a police van. As if he was a thief too. It's a painful incident.
Have this matter been reported to any authority, and what's the status of that?
Yeah, we have been to several offices. Even the minister itself, we have written to him. We have written to our senator, the House of Rep, the local government, and even to the office of Vice President. And yet we have not had any response. And we are just stranded. We are being left as if we are not Nigerian. Nothing.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Please stay with us.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the TrustTV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search TrustTV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
All right, thank you for staying with us. You're watching Daybreak, reaching you live from the nation's capital in Abuja. We have a studio, a victim of assault who was shot by officials of the task force, FCT Task Force Committee on City Sanitation in the studio. Shekwonu Easy, he is narrating his ordeal on the day of the incident. Some of the images from that incident are quite gory. We cannot show you those pictures, but also you should also know that we have invited officials of the task force committee on the program to come and talk about what happened on that day. We are yet to get any response from them. Now, Shekwonu Easy is narrating his ordeal. Now, what are you, or I would say rather, is there any legal effort that you are making with respect to this incident?
Yes, there is, though it's personal, because the way it is, the so-called developer, when he knows our move, he blocks it. But as it is now, I cannot really tell you that this is our plan on air. I will just keep it as personal until where the possible outcome comes out. Because I'm sure they are in it now, because he claims he has money, and that's why he perpetrated all this. I'm sure he will surely block the way. But I know that it's a matter of time. With due time, we shall get to our victory.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Easy, for coming. We have Easy's brother also, in the studio, who was present on that day when the incident happened, and we're going to be speaking to him as well very shortly after this break. Stay with us. right, welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak on Trust Television, and we have in the studio Geichaju Easy, Easy's brother, who was also present on that day when the incident happened. So could you just quickly tell us what really happened on that day?
Well, that day was terrible. Actually, I was not there from the beginning, but I came around when my friend called. My brother was shot on the neck, and I started rushing back. When I came back, the people were on the street, around the street. Everybody was out of the community, tear gas everywhere. So I could not even stand. I was trying to go in. People were holding me to stay around because they were shooting anyhow. And everybody was outside, but I insisted. I went inside the community, and I went into our house. I didn't see my dad. I didn't see everybody. Everybody was crying. And later, I went out through our gate. I saw my dad's shoes, his phone, broken phones on the floor, his cap, everything was on the floor. He was not there. And I saw some armies. They were ready to shoot because some of my parents were dragging me in because they were ready to shoot us because they had our youth pictures on their phones. Once they see youth from Lungu, they will chase you to the last until they hit you or whatever thing they want to do with you. But then, later I heard they took my dad to their van. So I was trying to look for my brother so that I can take him to the hospital. People were brutalized. They were beating both women, and even a blind grandfather that we had. They were pointing gun at him, and so many things like that. And then I now looked for my brother because I was not able to do anything else than to look for my brother and take him to the hospital. And it was very terrible. People were crying everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, to think that you are indigenes, Lagi indigenes of the FCT, and this, is coming, have you made any move, to demand justice in some way?
Yeah, this incident, this demolition with this same man is not just this year. It has been since 2014, and since then we have been making moves and going to our leaders, even to the court. We have been to court twice, and the first one, the case was ruled out in the absence of our community, and then they came and demolished that very one. Then again we appeal. The day we were supposed to go, they came again with a bulldozer, and they did the demolition, which we were just confused. And our leaders will keep calling. Sometimes they don't pick. Sometimes even they pick, they'll be like, we are coming, we'll do something, we'll call them to come back. And this is how it has been till even today. So we are trying our best, and they are not helping us.
Okay. All right. Now, what are your demands now? What do you want? What are you demanding for?
Well, right now it's not just about Lungu. It's about FCT as well. We want the federal government to recognize us that we are here before the FCT, and we need to be treated as citizens of Nigeria as well. We deserve the respect because we are peacemakers. We welcome everybody into this city. This is now Abuja. So we need to be recognized, yes, even if let me say, maybe we are maybe at fault at some point. Maybe the federal government should consider, if we have made mistake from the beginning, then they should consider us and get us a place. If we are not okay where they are, if they are not okay with the place we are occupying, they should try and get us a place if possible, and then we'll live in peace.
Like some form of compensation.
This form of compensation,
okay.
Or resettlement.
Okay. Now let's talk about Easy's injury. Those pictures are really
bad,
damning, yes, and we can really highlight that. According to the reports, we heard from people, it was quite expensive getting to treat him and all of that. There was no money on the ground,
yeah.
And all that. So how were you able, to raise money for his treatment and all of that?
Well, the injury was really bad. In fact, you won't believe that so many of them that saw him during that injury, they see him now. Some of them think he's even dead. One of our colleagues there, he was asking me that my brother was there. I said, no, he's still alive. So why is he still alive? Yes. But we spent a lot. It was not easy, and raising the fund was not easy as well. My dad tried, and thank God there was support from the community. Even during then, we were going around to get some money around the shops, houses. They were contributing for the treatment. And thank God we were able to raise some funds for them to start the treatment. And thank God, even after the treatment, we could pay off the bills.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the program. We will continue to follow this through. We have reached out to the chairman of the committee, the Task Force Committee on City Sanitation for the FCT, for his own response and explanation on what happened. On that day, we'll continue to follow through with that. And that we just spoke with Easy Gaichaju, who is a brother to the victim, and also the victim himself, Shekwono Easy, has been on the program as well to talk about his own ordeal. With that, we'll take a break now, and then when we come back, we'll wrap up the show. Please stay with us.